Hi, everyone. Welcome back. If you're here for the first time, I am Tom Massari, sometimes referred to as the grandfather of channeling. I work differently than other channels do. I don't channel aliens or collectives or councils. I channel one personality only, and that source is Abram, who was a Mayan shaman in his last incarnation.
Hi, I'm Susanna Massari, psychic medium, author of Living Beyond Death, and host of the podcast Metaphysical Hippie Chicks 2.0. Today, we're going to be talking with Abram about 13 metaphysical beliefs or ideas. So we'll wait for Abram.
Hello, my friends. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Susanna.
Hi, Abram.
And what do we have today?
We're going to go over 13 metaphysical beliefs or ideas and see what you think about them and what your take is.
All right, so let us begin.
All right. The first one is the earth is hollow. The belief that civilizations, beings, and entire ecosystems exist inside the earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is, I've said this before, I'll say it again. There is an entire universe in the center of your planet Earth. Now, since everything is energy and based on energy, everything can be said to be an illusion. Not a simulation, not a hologram, but an illusion. There is a vast difference in the three of those. The inside of the earth is a reality. But as your reality is an illusion, so is the reality inside your planet Earth. Still real, still a reality, but an illusion, because, again, it also is energy. And at any time with energy, you can create anything. So, yes, it is hollow. Yes, there are civilizations in the earth. Yes, there is an entire universe. And again, yes, it is hollow. Back and forth, back and forth. So, draw your own conclusions, my friends. Thank you.
So is this maybe a different dimension within the earth?
Yes. There are many, as you know, realities. Every person will have his or her own reality. Your universe is a reality, and it has realities within it, and every reality, no matter what reality you are talking about, every reality will have countless dimensions to it and in it and with it. So your present reality, as you know it to be right now, has countless dimensions associated with it and in it and as a part of it. So, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So if it's a different dimension / reality, you're not saying physically in this reality it's hollow, or are you?
As your reality is your reality, the dimensions in and of your reality are as real as your reality seems to be to you at this moment in time. But those dimensions are not found by and in your conscious mind, because your conscious mind is always a part of your present reality. If you were to split your conscious mind, you would be able to then understand and see into, look into, and become a part of all of those dimensions that are associated with and a part of your reality. And they would be just as real as your reality seems to be right now. So, yes, no, but yes. Thank you.
Okay. Because physically, and according to scientists, there are layers, physical layers within the earth, and then we have the core of the earth.
Yes.
Okay. So my next question concerning that is that there have been many reports of extraterrestrials living under the earth.
Yes.
And do they live like under the water in the oceans?
Yes.
Not live, but can travel there.
Yes.
In and out.
Yes.
Okay. The next one is reptilian shapeshifters. The idea that reptilian extraterrestrials can disguise themselves as humans and may secretly influence world events and even be members of our government.
Partially, yes. Now, too many people are looking at reptilian beings in kind of a not-so-good way. Many people consider reptilian beings as being negative beings who will influence people's memories, thoughts, and all the rest in negative ways. I have said before, reptilian beings are not negative beings. Let me put it this way. If you look at a reptilian being as being just a situation, you will then understand, or hopefully you can understand, that situations are nothing more than situations. They mean nothing. They have no meaning, no reason, no purpose until you give them one. Same with reptilians. Same with all ETs, alien beings found in, throughout, and beyond your present-day universe. Everything means nothing. Everyone means nothing until you give a reason, a purpose, and a meaning to all of that. Is it very simple, my friends? Thank you.
The Galactic Federation, that an alliance of advanced extraterrestrial civilizations, is monitoring Earth and may be assisting humanity's spiritual evolution.
That is one belief. Another belief is in the Tooth Fairy. So choose your beliefs wisely. People are under the assumption that alien beings, no matter who they might be, federations, councils, conglomerates, and all the rest, they are going to guide, help, and save humanity. The only ones who are going to guide, save, and help humanity are you people, human beings. Why? Because you have the power to change, restructure, reconstruct, redesign, design everything and anything. There are a couple of races of beings, Pleiadians among them, who are to kind of guide people into thinking a bit more about love and compassion, allowance and acceptance. So, what people can do is basically look within. Find the power that people have to design, redesign, create, recreate any type of reality that they want. Do not give your power away to the idea of anyone, anything, saving or serving you. That is all up to you, my friends. Thank you.
Starseeds. The belief that some people are souls who originated on other planets or star systems and incarnated on Earth for a specific purpose.
Listen, everyone, first of all, no one is from your planet Earth. All people are from elsewhere in the universe. So all people can be considered to be starseeds. Yes, nice fancy term, starseed. Thank you.
Walk-ins. The belief that one soul can leave a human body during a person's lifetime and another soul can enter and take over the life.
Extremely, extremely rare. It does happen on occasion, but extremely rare. Situations, circumstances have to be exactly right for that to happen. Usually, when a person is very ill, the spirit, not the soul, but the spirit of the person will leave the consciousness of the person. Let me put it that way. The soul does not walk out, a new soul walks in. No. A new spirit will involve itself with the consciousness of the person. Kind of tricky to understand that one. You have a pie. Cut it into 8 pieces. 4 pieces are the soul. 1 piece, conscious mind. 1 piece, subconscious. 1 piece, unconscious. 1 piece, spirit. Take that spirit piece out. Put a new spirit piece in. Same thing. Think about it. Very simple. Very easy to understand. Thank you.
What's the difference between a spirit and the soul?
The spirit is all about how people are, what they do, why they do it, and all the rest. The soul is the center point of life itself. Everyone has a soul. Everything has a soul. Nature has a soul. Insects have a soul. Animals have a soul. Everything has a soul. The spirit can be seen as, let me put it this way, an influencer as to how the person judges, does not judge, react or acts, or creates, recreates, designs, redesigns life. The spirit is the motivator. Let me put it that way. The soul is the foundation, the central point of all life. Difference. Is that simple enough to understand?
So could we consider the spirit like the personality?
You can think of it that way, yes.
Okay.
Now, some people will say, well, the spirit is the soul. If that is how you think, if that is how you believe, then let it be that way. It serves you. Thank you.
All right. Twin flames, the idea that one soul was divided into 2 people who are destined to find one another and experience a profound spiritual relationship.
Beautiful, beautiful story. In a sense, yes. But there is nothing fairy tale about it, nothing magical about it. Twin souls, twin flames, one soul, oversoul, undersoul. You can think of any type of soul you would like to, but keeping it simple and keeping it honest, there are many times when an oversoul will split into 2. 2 people are born, maybe different ends of the earth, your planet Earth. But eventually they find themselves, and they find each other. They have to find themselves first before they find each other. And finding the self first means understanding, acknowledging who, what, and why you are. When you do that, then you can find a twin flame or an alternate you. Put it that way, an alternate you. And people say, well, like attracts like. So do opposites. You might have found yourself maybe in a situation at some point, any point in your life, and in that situation you were with someone who was a complete opposite of you, but there was a definite attraction between the 2 of you. So, like attracts like, and opposites attract also. Keep it simple. Thank you.
All right, so I've asked you this before.
Ask me again.
That you have told me that from my, whatever you want to call it, oversoul, my true self, there are 3 of us in this physical reality.
Yes.
At this present time.
Yes.
And just because that happens doesn't mean that we're going to find one another.
No, does not mean that. It can happen, but there is the idea of possibility and the idea of probability. It is possible, but maybe not probable. But if this is not accomplished in physical reality, it can be accomplished in the dream state or an alternate state of being, as you say, out of your body. This happens many times. Out of your body, you find someone who is a part of you. And that situation continues and develops into a relationship in another dimension of your present reality. Thank you.
Interdimensional beings, the belief that some entities people encounter aren't extraterrestrial at all, but originate from another dimension of or level of reality.
But people call them ETs, extraterrestrials, anyway. They are interdimensional beings. Take Bigfoot as an example. I have said before, I will say it again. Bigfoot is a dimensional slip in time. When you consider dimensions and time, you consider alternate realities. And there are those who exist in those alternate realities. You can call them dimensional slips in time. But really that all means the fancy term dimensional slip in time just means that they are able to, from time to time, when it is necessary, slip into your dimension, your reality, be with you for a time, go back to their home in their own dimension or their own reality. And everything happens here and now. That is the hard part to understand. Thank you.
The simulation theory, the idea that our reality could be an artificial or computer-generated simulation created by a more advanced intelligence.
Absolutely not. Now, since everything is energy, reality is an illusion, not a simulation, not a hologram, an illusion. If you were in a simulation, you can do nothing to change things, to recreate reality, because it has been created for you. And all you can do is play out the role that has been designed for you until you die. Hologram. Let me put it this way. Let me be blunt. Nonsense. Thank you. Now, being that reality is energy and an illusion, you always change it. In a simulation, you can change nothing. It has been set in stone for you. A hologram, kind of the same thing. You can do nothing to change, create, recreate, design, redesign, do anything you want. You cannot do anything you want to do. Nothing. But in an illusion, everything can be changed. And everything is changed, get this, with every thought you have, every idea you have, every belief you have, every time you act out something, say something, think of something. This all changes the foundation of reality, the illusion. And if you might have noticed, maybe one day you're thinking in a certain way and your reality is in a certain way. And then the next day you start thinking in a different way. And oh my God, my God, my God, my God, my gosh. Reality seems different to me. What is going? I am going crazy. I probably have to see a psychiatrist. No. All you need to see is how you are thinking in a different way. Because thoughts create reality. Thank you.
Why do people have a hard time accepting this reality for what it is, and that human beings are good, bad, ugly, beautiful, creative, and it's just a mixing bowl of every type of person that you could think of? And why do we have such a hard time accepting this reality and thinking there is some utopian reality that we are working towards or that we're going to move into?
Because many people want that utopian existence. They want to live in an utopia. And they are doing their best and their hardest to create that. But maybe they really do not know how to create that. So they have a hard time with trying to create it, and at the same time thinking that there are all kinds of people in life, about life, in realities, about realities, and they really can do nothing about it. But boy, oh boy, they are still trying to create that utopia. Utopia is a very, 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 very beautiful idea. Everyone can have a utopia. Everyone can. But since there is collective consciousness, mass consciousness, there are certain kind of rules to abide by. Let me put it that way. Not real rules, not laws, but let me use the word rules to abide by. And one rule is the rule of love. Another, the rule of compassion. If you do not have self-love, self-compassion, you cannot have it for anyone else. It all begins within you, and it all ends within you. If you have love and compassion within you, you can have it for someone else. Therefore, negating the idea that there are those bad people out there, maybe trying to get you or get you someone else. Bad people, crazy people, narcissistic people, and all the rest. At the same time, you think, well, there are some good people out there. So what you might want to do is associate yourself with those good people as best you can. At the same time, look at your emotions and your emotionality. Find within you love. Of course, you can do it. Everyone can. Easy thing to do. Claim it as self-love. Find compassion. You can do it. Everyone can. It is easy to do. Claim it as your compassion for yourself. Once you do that, then you'll begin to understand who, what, and why you really are. And when you understand that, and understand self-love, self-compassion, then you look beyond the idea that there are crazy people, bad people, negative people, narcissistic people, and all the rest. And you can find, very simply, you can find, if you want to, an inner utopia. When you find that, you have that. Thank you.
So that goes along with what you've said before, that heaven is within us as well as what we consider hell.
Yes.
And that even quote-unquote good people, since we're born with all possibilities within us, good people can do not so good things.
Yes.
And it's just, if we can accept ourselves and accept everything about us, that we have the ability to be any possibility that is available to us in this world, then we can accept that in other people and know that this is just a world with, this reality is all possibilities. And we're going to run into people who don't have our best interests at heart. But it still comes back to us and accepting us and accepting all of those possibilities within us, that we are human and we're having very human experiences, and we can be not so good people under the right circumstances. So we're all like that.
Absolutely. And exactly the way you said it. Everyone has the possibility and possibilities to be anything, anyway, do anything, do it anyway, be a good person, be a bad person. If you consider the idea that there is no good, no bad, no right, no wrong, everything just is, then there is no positive, there is no negative. Everything just is. I tell people, when you're faced with a negative situation that is kind of rubbing you the wrong way, ruffling your feathers, don't react. Look at the situation as if you are a person outside of yourself, a different person. Just observe the situation and understand that it has no meaning, no reason, and no purpose. Then, if you want to give it a meaning, a reason, and a purpose, give it a love meaning, a love reason, a love purpose, and compassion. And you will see right before your eyes the situation changing. Try it out. might work for you. Thank you.
Time travelers. The belief that some UFO or paranormal encounters may actually involve humans or beings from the future traveling backward through time.
At times. Many, 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 many times they come from a different dimension. Dimensional travel. Time travel, once in a while. Dimensional travel, more. Thank you.
Is there even time outside of this reality?
No.
Man-made time?
No. There is not even time in your reality. You think there is time, so you create it with your thinking, with your thought. If you had no clock on your wall, no watch on your wrist, no awareness of tick-tock time, how would you function? On, by, and with instinct, like a dog does, like a cat does, like an animal does. Instinct. You would know exactly when, and the word when does not refer to time, but you would know exactly when to do all the things you need to do, want to do, desire to do in the course of your lifetime. For one day, do not look at a clock, do not look at your wristwatch. Just rely on your instinct for one day and see what happens. You might be surprised. Thank you.
So why do people think and scientists think in terms of space-time?
Imagine you have a big piece of paper in front of you. You also have a writing instrument in your hand. Take your writing instrument, make a mark, any kind of mark, on the paper. The paper is space-time. What you have just done is you have created a pattern for that mark that you had just made on your paper. You had created a pattern that will become an event. The event, the mark, changes the appearance of the paper, which changes the foundation of space-time. So every time you take an action, space-time changes for you in your reality. It is very simple. Once you understand that space-time is your reality, then you can understand that everything you think, everything you say, what you do, it all changes the foundation and the appearance of space-time. Space-time, just another illusion. Thank you.
Remote viewing across time and space. The idea that consciousness can perceive distant locations, events, or even information outside the normal limitations of the senses.
Consciousness can reach all throughout universes, because everything, everyone is consciousness. It is all linked together. But many times, people imagine they are experiencing things, situations with remote viewing. They imagine it many times. Many times it is real remote viewing. Many times imagination. So, nothing else to say about that. Thank you.
Okie dokie. I know I've tried remote viewing and it worked. It was just one time, but I had validation about the circumstances, so I know it does work.
Good.
Ascended Masters, the belief that spirituality, advanced beings such as Jesus, Buddha, or other enlightened teachers continue to guide humanity from a higher level of consciousness.
In some situations, some circumstances, this is true, but there never have been any masters. There are no masters. There never will be any masters, because when you become a master, there is no room for growth, evolvement, or improvement. Those beings, like all of you, they have been, they always will be practitioners of life. This is all they are. This is all they have been, practitioners of life. people tend to look for something or someone more complete than they are to help them, point them in the right direction, serve them, save them, and all the rest. If you really want to experience those who you call ascended masters, then use your dream state. Decide while you are preparing for sleep that you will have a dream in which you will meet Jesus the Christ, Buddha, and all the rest. You can do it in your dream state, because as they exist in somewhat of a dream state. And you will find that out when you die your physical death. You will be in a dream state. But as you continue in that dream state, it begins to become real, just like your reality is now. This is something to look forward to when you die. There is no death. You just continue. You just keep going. Thank you.
Parallel universes and alternate selves. The idea that there may be countless versions of ourselves living different realities and making different choices. We've talked about this before.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is all that needs to be said about that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
There's that. I agree.
Good.
Consciousness creates reality. We've talked a lot about that over the years. The more radical interpretation of this idea that consciousness isn't simply experiencing reality, but actually participates in creating or selecting the reality that we experience. And I think you've already said that today, too.
Yes.
So we're done.
All right. So, I thank all of you. As you go throughout your day, perceiving your reality, begin thinking of how, if you want to, how you can begin to redesign it. To have that utopia, if you are looking for a utopia that you would like to have. Think about how you can redesign, not recreate, but redesign what you have now as a reality, so that it can transform itself into that utopia for you. Think about how you can do that. I've enjoyed being with you, my friends. I love you. Thank you, Susanna.
Thank you, Abram.
Thank all of you. We will see you again. Thank you again.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, and we'll see you next time.